That's maybe what comedians need to or should start doing, is having encores for themselves. They're at a big theater, they say, all right, goodbye. Then everyone in the crowd chants their name, and then just come out and say like 5-10 minutes more worth of stories. That'd be kind of funny to do, because I know they kind of work crescendo it up to end on their, I don't know if they even do end on their big joke, but end like they have an ending planned out. Then they go, well, I got this theater full of people, let's do an encore. That'd be kind of rock star of them to do. Three, two, one. Hello, welcome to another episode of the Pretty Huge Dilemma podcast. I am your host, Jacob Barrett. Today, we're going to get into my 4th of July experience and my response to getting my house volunteered for holiday celebrations, movie reviews of views I've recently seen and that I think still might be in theaters, and then lastly, house decorations that didn't go as expected, and that's what you came here to listen for. So please like, subscribe, comment, reach out, DM, follow on X, follow on Instagram, all of that. Ideas, watch PhD TV, watch Pretty Huge Reviews, all of that. Nice. All right, what an intro. Okay, so 4th of July, that happened. Episode coming out now about me not liking fireworks, things like that. And this weekend when they came out, reinforced that just even more. I say it, I might waver on it. Do I really think this? Did I say it just to say it? Did I fully think about all the other implications that go with it? Is it too broad of a commitment to say that? Sometimes that happens. Did I get misinformation wrong? Did I leave something out? Did I forget about some scenario where I do like fireworks on the 4th of July? This one, pretty solid foundation on it. Because last night, trying to go to sleep, not staying up till midnight, 1 a.m., see your fireworks going off. I can't sleep. They're annoying. Every time they go off, it sounds like someone's knocking on my front door. They're not there, and that's what freaks me out, is it sounds like they are. The thud of it, like someone's knocking on my door. Don't like that. Trying to sleep, don't like that. I don't know what the fireworks regulation is in my city. I don't know if any went off nearby, if my neighbors are breaking those kinds of rules. The HOA is going around sniffing that out, because there is the real possibility that someone's house gets burned down. I assume that happened. That happens a lot of years. You see, it might be just one news article, one house, but the fact that it's one house makes me not like them at all. And you could say one bad batch of them, bad for the rest. You can't group them all together. Well, for fireworks, I think I can. If you're saying off personal fireworks in a neighborhood, if it's the city, I don't even know. Do I need to get an extra insurance policy for fireworks protection? I know it's one day a year for 4th of July. The fireworks can be set off for New Year's or other days like that as well. Similar for flood insurance, people who have that in Florida or floodplain areas, that's not for the entire year. I know it covers the entire year, but you're not expecting hurricanes the entire part of the year. You kind of just need them for that 3-month period. I don't know if you can buy flood insurance plans that just cover 3 months. It would be the first time you get it, you get it for those couple months. The first time it would start those couple months. This isn't making any sense, but the first restart, editor, edit that out, clean this up, make it sound better and more intelligent. Maybe I'll have the AI bot clean it up. Probably not. They're not very good at videos. Whenever I have to edit video, I have to get a transcript downloaded from a different platform, get the transcript. The transcript might not be the best looking thing, and then upload that to see what clips get the people going. Because it's a lot for me to rewatch my own episode, to rewatch the reviews. I'm a one-man team enough. Maybe I need to get an unpaid. I know I've talked about getting an unpaid intern, kind of how other podcasts have competitions, bring people in, have them do pretty shameful things that a normal person would not do. And I don't know, I probably wouldn't do for an unpaid position. No, it would take a lot more. And you can say the opportunities, you just want to get in there on your resume. There are other opportunities you can get that pay money for it. You don't need to be doing that kind of stuff for free. Even if it's not directly the same, maybe adjacent is good enough for it. But anyway, flood stuff, maybe you could just get that 3-year plan for it where you just want it during these summer months for it. Sure, it'll be a higher per month cost, similar to when you rent. If you do less like the shorter terms or month to month, yeah, that's more expensive. But in the end, you do save money, I guess, for the flood because you wouldn't be paying the entire year when you don't need it, unless you do want the flood for the entire year. That's something different. But I'm saying just like the hurricane protection part of it. And for fireworks, I don't need it for the entire year, just a couple days here and there if that happens for it. But if the city's lighting off fireworks and they catch houses on fire, okay, city can pay for it. Then the citizens can be upset that their tax dollars are going towards these dumb, I'll say dumb people who are lighting off fireworks and they're not going well because they probably have some other insurance policy that covers all the things, which that was something I didn't know. I'm still not 100% on where these giveaways that like basketball games do, football things do, is kind of have massive insurance policies to pay those out. I don't know if that's what Dr. Pepper does because they kind of willingly give money to everyone. I don't know what their budgeting is like for their donations, but for like the one-off places or like the smaller time arenas where it's not guaranteed to pay it, is pay some insurance policy and say we want insurance policy to cover this much for it, and then you pay the insurance, and the insurance company is just banking on that there are less giveaways than the amount of payments they receive. So they might have some insurance stipulations of the organization has to give some layout of what it is, the difficulty, the challenge of it. The insurance does their probability calculations, their actuarial tables on how often people hit half court, full court putts, things like that. And they're banking on getting that. Dr. Pepper, I don't think someone to take that insurance policy, that would be kind of dumb because they're guaranteed to give money away. And even the losers get money, which I don't know what kind of America they grew up in, but the losers getting money, I'm not sure how that works for it. Also, like $100,000 to go to school. People pay $100,000 to go to school. That's a lot. Maybe for like the entire life expenses, but just if that money's only earmarked for like tuition, things like that, people pay $100,000. That's not going to be a good conversation with my kid. They decide to go to school. They're going to a nice in-state college, not Texas A&M, maybe a community college, get some credits, and they'll do it. Well, it'll be a different conversation that I'll have to have with Ashley of how much we'll support them and the payback policy doing that. Because I had to pay back for my college. I also worked before I was in college, worked in college, stuff like that. Went to an in-state school, had good grades, got scholarships. So I'm not really certain how much I paid. I wonder if I might be able to go back and ask my parents what the payments were like, how much it costs, because I could ask my brothers what theirs were, but I don't know, they pay back like different amounts. And like per year, the cost to go to school is different. But $100,000, I don't know, I guess I didn't do much research. I did have to do a research paper on like future plans. I think it was when I was a junior of what we wanted to do. My idea was I wanted to go to UNLV and do like hotel management, restaurant management, things like that. And I looked at that. I think that was like 130,000. But even that was like for UNLV for a state I'm not anywhere close to without getting any scholarships or things like that. But Dr. Pepper, that's so much money they give away. I don't even drink Dr. Pepper. I don't know the last time I had a Dr. Pepper. Any kind of them. I know probably their subsidiaries, their parent company, their companies below them probably had, but Dr. Pepper, I don't know. I've never been too big on them. Anyway, 4th of July. So I talked about how I don't like fireworks, confirmed. The other part of it, I didn't think of it at the moment, but the new technologies, fireworks, they're not changing. That I still think is true. Fireworks pretty staying the same, but people are switching to doing some drone things instead of fireworks, which those maybe I would be able to get behind those better because big explosions. There are little annoying buzzes that go around. Maybe people play a cool soundtrack that goes along with them, like storytelling a movie that goes in 1776. And they have like two armies fight against each other, things like that. I don't know how drone programming goes. That might be a little bit cooler because, but also, yeah, I think that would be cooler to see. I wouldn't say I dislike that. I haven't been to one of those shows. But the drones, that might be something cooler that I might enjoy because you can do more. You can put them in whatever positions you want them to be whatever colors, things like that. Spell things out, be someone's face. The downside of that is you probably do have to be in a certain direction of them because fireworks, they blast spherically, things like that. They're not one-sided, which I'd explain that to Ashley of, the fireworks we're seeing, the other side is seeing them pretty much the exact same way. The angle they shoot them off might be bigger in one area versus the other one, but the overall, like, they blast spherically. So you don't have to be specifically on one side of them because they look like that. And those sparkler ones, the shapes of those are kind of random. It doesn't make much difference on those for it. With drones, you would have to be like in one like direction of it, unless they did like one of those like cool shadow things. All right, I hit my mic because it's still on. Those cool shadow things where if you shine the light from one side, it's like one letter, like an E that way. Then if you shine it on another side, it's different letter, like a J or something like that. They would be able to do something cool like that with the drones, where if you're in like the front or back of it, you would see it spelled out one thing, but then if you're on the side of it, you would get like a whole different image. That would be pretty cool if they were able to do that, which I'm pretty sure they could, because you just got to tell a drone where to go in some relative space. The movement of them might be more difficult, but again, I think they got those figured out. I don't even know how many satellites they got flying around. They got so many different companies, so many little things. I'm sure they can figure out how to get relative positions and plan things out where they don't run into each other, because if they did run into each other, that would be a little bit of a hazard for that. And my nose is running. Let's see here. What else we got going on? Try not to say All right, drones 4th of July. I think that might be cool to do for that. Okay, my nose is running. Part of it, I don't know. I assume it's part of it now. I don't know if it's still happening for it, but went to a house for a 4th of July party. They had too many cats. Too many cats, you might say, oh, they had 2 or 3 cats. Nope. Personally, I would call 1 cat too many cats. This place had 5 cats. Count them, 5. Cats, too many. They were sitting around, fat cats, water tin splashed all over the place. I don't like cats. I think if I was to rank them, cats and dogs, I think I might dislike cats more than I dislike dogs. Cats, they can be chill, kind of sit there, but I'm pretty certain I'm allergic to cats. I've known this. Well, I can't say I've known this because I haven't gone to a doctor say, hey, am I allergic to this? But anytime I'm around cats, I'm sneezing, my nose is running. I don't know if my head gets brain fog or not, but my nose definitely starts running. And if someone gets just cat hair on them because it's all over the place, all their furniture and just around it, it could be, I don't know, still happening for it. Might be happening here because I don't know what happened with the clothes that I wore there, if those got cleaned or not. I don't think I wore this. This isn't red, white, or blue. Navy blue, which navy blue, I don't think that counts when you're going out to a party or things like that. The American flag colors, well, now you're going with shades of blue. So if you were to say what color is on the flag, I guess it would be navy blue. So I guess I'm going to have to count that. Retract that, delete, retraction. Okay, you happy now? Okay, fine. Navy blue counts because that's the color of the flag. But when you say the colors, say red, white, and blue. Not red, white, navy blue, red, white, royal blue. I guess it is navy blue. Fine. Conceded. Retracted. Things like that. It was fine. Regular cookout, potluck type thing. It's fine for it. Then I don't know, this isn't a big thing, but with this elaborate mansion of a house I have, someone came up to me during the party and said, "You see how they do this party? Maybe next year you could host it." Nope, wrong, not happening. I don't know if the person was trying to volunteer my house, trying to just say, "Hey, this isn't difficult. You could do this." Are they saying I'm not able to host parties? Am I not able to figure it out? I'm not sure. I didn't ask follow-up questions because my main reaction was, okay, sure, not doing it. I don't need more people in my house. I've said this before. I don't want a guest bed. I don't want a guest bedroom. I don't want people coming in saying, "This looks like a bed for me, a perfect place for me to come when I stay and visit." Nope, I don't want that. I want it to be uncomfortable, not welcoming, things like that, because I don't want that forced on me to do that. People see I have this house. When people ask me a place to hang out, "You got this house, you got this nice area, you spent time, money, energy getting this to be the way you like it, clean the way you like it, not worried about outside people seeing it. Let's go there and ask you, why do you have this hanging on your wall? Why do you have this type of silverware? The temperature's too warm in here. When's the last time you cleaned this place? Where'd you get this from? Blah, blah, blah." I don't need that. I almost rather rent out a conference room in a hotel to hang out at. I don't have any tissues around. I'm going to go need to do that. Pause. All right, we're back. And I realized I forgot to put a trash bag in the trash can. Hopefully I do that soon and Ashley doesn't see that used tissue. Oh well. Ugh. You're welcome. Maybe I'll start doing that if I burp, not directly in someone's face. If I turn away or cough or sneeze not on them, instead of saying, "Excuse me," I'll say, "You're welcome." Start that up. Okay. House volunteer. You like your house. You like your peace and quiet. You like not having to put things away that you use regularly. Like, I got a skillet or a frying pan. I almost regularly just leave it on my stove. One might think, you just leave it on your stove, you gotta clean that, put it away. It shouldn't just stay on the stove. Well, I use it almost every single day. I cook eggs at home, I'm using this pan. I don't need to let it cool, get done finishing my eggs, let it cool down, clean it, let it dry, put it away that evening. I can just leave it there, wipe it out, rinse with water, things like that. I don't need to put it away every time someone comes in over visiting. They might wonder why that's there. I gotta get serving trays of things. I gotta go to the store. I gotta get vegetables people aren't gonna eat. I gotta get crackers and M&Ms that people are only gonna eat. People are gonna dip directly into the ranch without getting it on their plate. People are just gonna eat right off the tray instead of putting it on plates I gave them. I don't need that. If you want to hang out, have this big event, go to a conference room at a hotel. Hang out there. Get food catered. Things like that for like big holidays, stuff like that. If you want to hang out and just relax, go to a coffee shop, hang out. Go to a library to hang out. They got chairs there. Sure, you might have to be a little quiet, but that's okay. Just tone it down a little bit. Not volunteering my house for things not happening. Christmas, no thank you. New Year's, no thank you. St. Patrick's Day, not happening. Thanksgiving, I don't really like that, especially with the extra cooking and cleaning, because people come over. I don't want them cleaning my dishes. You don't know how to clean this. I don't trust your cleaning process. You don't know where these things go, so I'm just going to have to be on there overlooking it anyway. I don't need that to happen. All right, that's my 4th of July. Next thing, movies. Movies. What movies have I seen? I'm in the process of watching Project Hail Mary now with Ryan Gosling. There's about a half hour left. But I could give my overall thoughts of that. Another space movie where it's people in the beginning, but then this guy meets this creature that doesn't talk his language, and they figure out how to save the planet. And then Ryan Gosling thinks he's not going to make it back. He thinks he's going to die out there. So he's torn of, when I save this and then send the information back, then I'm going to die. Then my purpose is done. What am I going to do? Then at the end of the alien rock thing says, "I can solve this problem for you. It'll be an inconvenience for me, but it'll be okay." So here's your solution you can get back. And then they hit the stumble of, I have the fix. How do we get it there? The ship goes crazy. Somehow the ship slows down. There's no air resistance there. And it's just spinning around, goes unconscious, almost die. Weird medical devices that talk to him. So I don't know what year this thing is based in, because I don't think it's happening now, unless there's a secret Project Hail Mary that I don't know about that the government's working on. Maybe this is the director's way of saying, hey, someone leaked this top secret, super top secret information to me, but they don't want to go on Joe Rogan podcast and whistleblow that happened. Instead, we're going to create this quote unquote fictional movie, but all the events in it are real, where the common person wouldn't know what any of this means. They just think it's a sci-fi movie with Ryan Gosling in it and this weird alien thing, when in reality it's exactly what's going on. That'd be pretty cool and hidden. For people in the government might not like it, but be kind of, I don't want to say funny, would be a way to get information out there without saying, hey, it's exactly what's going on. For it's like, this is a possibility. So if you hear about this news in the future, you can come back to this and say, oh, it looks like it was there all along. Kind of like Easter eggs of things people see in a music person wearing whatever color, whatever number with what some book thing. They'll say, if you look back, yeah, that foreshadowed this, foreshadowed this. A lot of people guessing things without knowing them. That could be what's happening for this. And people start thinking in real time, is that what's happening? Did I just figure all this out? Hopefully, if you don't see this podcast continue on a couple of weeks, just either know government got me or they paid me off. And I decided to end the podcast because it would be worth it. And as stated before, I will sell out. Plain and simple. Sell out, available. All right, so that's Project Hail Mary. And I also saw Toy Story 5 in theaters, not opening day weekend. I was too busy, but I had a little free time and decided to go. I'm surprised movies aren't as expensive as I thought they were. It was like $10 to see a movie. And I could probably wait another couple weeks and then get Disney Plus for $10 for an entire month. But then you have ads, and then you feel like you have to watch this more. You're distracted while you're watching your shows, and you got a lot of other things going on with it. So I decided to go in theaters, lounge chair. The chair didn't, which also I think there's less seats in movie theaters. I went there, bunch of rows and seats that I thought there would be. It was greatly reduced. I don't know if it was just a smaller theater they put it in, but it wasn't just rows and rows of seats. It was just the larger seats you could recline back, which might make sense for them to do instead of showing a bunch of mediocre seats, which the seats I never really had a complaint with. They were cushioned. I would lean back, put my feet up, and you would find enough space and seats where it wasn't difficult to find an open area. Unless you went to opening night thing of Avengers, which I think that might be I don't even know if that was opening night. I went to that. I think that might be which one was it? I don't even remember which one it was. Was it the one where they all disappeared and came back? It might have been that one. You see, I don't even remember which one that was. But it's reduced the number of seats and it's made them more comfortable. Works for me. Okay, Toy Story 5. I did take notes on this. I didn't record an instant reaction video, but I made an instant notes video. And so there will be, I didn't say for the Project Hail Mary, will be spoilers. Look here, spoilers. There's not going to say spoilers there. Deal with it. But the Toy Story 5. This is in just general overview of what happens. Kid feels left out. She plays with toys. Everyone else is playing with iPads or lily pads. And lily pad is alive. I guess the electronics are alive, kind of like how the toys are alive. And she gets her friends with this dance team that Bonnie is, and Bonnie's the kid's name for it. And Bonnie thinks, okay, these are going to be our best friends. We're all on lily pad together. She gets addicted to it. Her parents just no oversight. They give her a lily pad and she just plays it. First thing in the morning, last thing at night. Parents, zero restrictions on it. No screen limits, nothing of that. This kid gets addicted to it, makes these fake friends, gets invited over. They make fun of her for playing with toys. Okay. And toys kind of just, they're scared of this. Scared it's happening. Jesse's like the ringleader of them. And she deputizes Buzz when she's out doing other things. That was a different thing going on in the movie is I guess Jesse and Buzz have a relationship with each other. I don't know when that happened. Did that happen in Toy Story 4? I know for Toy Story 4 there were a couple times where I started watching it, stopped watching it, because I had that weird Forky character that just, I don't know, wasn't in a great emotional state, mental state for it. I guess Buzz and Jesse are in love with each other. I don't remember seeing that. Other Toy Story things like that. I mean, Lil Bo Peep and Woody. That's like the other relationship, Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. These ones, like, I didn't think these two were in a big relationship with each other. And the age difference on them, Jessie, I mean, a cowgirl, vintage. Okay, so she's somewhat vintage because that person in Toy Story 2 said, I'm going to collect this, pristine shape, keep in the box, not not meant to play with because I can sell and make money for it. Okay, Buzz, he's much more recent than that. He's a space person with a helmet. So there's a pretty big age difference, I'd assume, between those two. They weren't created at the same time. So if you were to look up when cowboy toys got made versus space people, I think there's a big difference between that for them. Also, I did not realize how tall Jesse was. Jesse just towered over Buzz. So I guess Buzz is just a short king. Guess that's how it works out for that. But hey, he liked it. All right. And there was a thing of lost upgrade Buzzes. So they upgrade Buzz Lightyear, other things of them. And it's kind of like how Buzz was when he initially came out of the package. They really don't know what's going on. They had this technology of like internet or something on them, Wi-Fi. So they're able to do that. And then they also, which is kind of a spoiler, made me remember it, they turned into drones. There was a sticky situation where they needed to get out, and someone realized that they had a bunch of upgraded versions of Buzz. Well, Buzz, or have to upgrade something. You got Wi-Fi, you got electronics in you. You can just turn into a drone. That was crazy. They were able to see that. Hey, Buzz married Jessie. Didn't know they had feelings for each other. Buzz is short, age difference. Tech takes over. Eventually works together with toys, which, yeah, that's a classic thing. The lily pad figures out that her plan to get Jessie or to get Bonnie friends backfired, but there's this other friend that Jessie found on her travels that if they connected together would be best of friends, blah, blah, blah. Buzz becomes a drone. On the post-credit scenes, this is just movies in general where you just have to keep waiting through all the credits. Is there going to be another cut scene? Is there going to be a preview to the next movie? What's going on with this? The Taylor Swift song, that didn't play till the end credits. And it wasn't the entire movie I was thinking about it, but going into it, obviously, I knew it was the case. And I didn't recognize hearing it during the movie, and I think it just played during the credits. Can you say you're part of the movie soundtrack if your song is only playing during the credit portion of it? I have to say like some like time in the movie, some emotional impact, something like that instead, just the credits. Then you have the initial credits, a cutscene plays. Then you have more credits. Does another cutscene play? Am I sitting through all these credits? You might see the hardcore people who did their research that they're staying through the entire credits. And I'm kind of sitting there like, I'm not up and leaving right away. I'm writing this review. Not writing this review, but writing these notes on my phone. If the cutscene comes up, great. If it doesn't, I'm not missing out on anything. There's first cutscene, okay, cool. More credits playing. People are still sitting there. I thought, are they just waiting for something, nowhere to go? Or is there another scene coming up that I'm going to miss? Eventually I said, I'm cutting it out. Kind of like encores at music things. At some point, I'm just out for it. The guy says it's the end, maybe like one encore. Once they start turning the lights on, playing background music, I'm not hanging around much longer. Even if the person comes out again, to the true fans who hung around, last ones in the stadium, last ones in the theater, I'm out. That's maybe what comedians need to or should start doing, is having encores for themselves. They're at a big theater. They say, "All right, goodbye." Then everyone in the crowd chants their name, and they just come out and say like 5-10 minutes more worth of stories. That'd be kind of funny to do because I know they kind of work crescendo it up to end on their. I don't know if they even do end on their big joke, but end like they have an ending planned out. Then they go, "Well, I got this theater full of people. Let's do an encore." That'd be kind of rock star of them to do. That's pretty good. Is that an original thought? I don't know. Have comedian people done that before? Maybe. None of the shows I've been to, it's kind of they say thank you, good night, walk off. That's the end of it. They could play some sort of music, keep it dim, and then come out and say, you thought that was the last one, but here's the best of the best. That'd be cool to do. Then for that, they also might, if they just repeated jokes, some people wouldn't like that and walk out even if and then they might walk out if they've heard that joke before. Which that kind of, I don't know if it upset me. When I went to one of Bert's shows, I don't know if he still does it. I haven't been to one recently, but if he still has the machine at the end of every show, before he would do that, and he would kind of tweak things up, add some more, take some away, little details. There would be people who would leave while he was doing that. Like, yeah, I get it. You've heard the story before. I guess you're trying to beat traffic. I don't know how much of a head start you're getting, unless you're paying VIP, which I don't think you're paying VIP section unless you're in the front row of this thing for it. So Toy Story 5, I don't know. After I wrote these notes, I said, you know what? That's enough. Okay. And the last thing I wrote down, I don't know how many other movie series are having 5 theater releases of their shows. Especially, well, ones that aren't comic book or book related ones. Harry Potter, okay, that had a bunch. Avengers, they got movies coming out like every year with their stuff on them. DC, okay. But I don't think Toy Story has like a book or comic book series where it's based off of. So they're kind of throwing things out there, see what's going. They could have had more because they had Buzz. I think that was one. Jessie, I don't think she's gotten her own movie. Woody, I mean, I don't know if you could have Woody ones. Little people. Oh, that was another thing. Woody, he was the only one where they showed aging effects on him. They had him balding. Okay, he's old. They had him where he's gained some weight. Okay, what about everyone else? Same amount of years, similar ages. No one else showed any aging. Mr. Potato Head, he wasn't rotting at all. No one else had like wrinkles on their face. Jessie, I think they like I don't know, I want to say updated her. She no wrinkles, nothing. Perfect teeth, not crooked. Lil Bo Peep, nothing, not aged. None of the animals were walking slower, complaining about moving as much. The dog Slinky, still able to stretch as far as he used to be. No issues there for it. But I spit a little bit on the mic. That's okay. What other movie series that have just 5 of them coming out? And they're not coming out. I don't know what years they are, but they're not like every year they're coming out or every 2 years. It's kind of sporadic for it. I gotta wipe my nose. Pause. All right, we're back. 5 movie series. That's a lot. The Star Wars movies that had a bunch, but also there were so many years gaps between them that those are also like almost like 3 separate ones for it. 5. That sounds like a decent amount. And I don't know what their box numbers were. I don't look too closely at that. If I like a movie, I'll go see it, even if it's not like the most popular type thing that everyone else is doing. Okay. Then the only other thing that I talked about, which I'll get to it next time, the house renovation, pretty much, I don't know, a lot of stuff going on here. Mixing what we're buying, trying out new things. I'll talk about that next time. So that'll be it for this podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, reach out, DM, follow, watch PhD TV, watch Pretty Huge Reviews, follow on Instagram, follow on X, and all that. Talk to you guys later. Bye.